Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Thursday, March 27th, after the Celtics win over the Phoenix Suns. Celtics are still undefeated on their current road trip against the West. 132-102 win for the Celtics, a 30-point victory. One of the most dominant performances I think we've seen from the Celtics this season. This Suns team stinks. They're so bad, like so unbelievably, embarrassingly bad at defense. I was like taking notes for the game, and just time and time again is like, how did the Celtics get open again? Like it was so bad. This Suns team, but Celtics played great. They look great. Kristaps 30 ball. Jaylen, best game he's played in a while. Al Horford turned back the clock. Baylor Scheierman was getting ignorant at the end of the game. It was fun. It was all around fun. Great Celtics against a very bad Suns team.
Ignorant is a mean way to put it. I would say he was getting
ignorant in a good way.
Flashy. Like he was just not fucking around.
Ignorant was not meant to be a slight. It was meant to be like when I said I was going to say ignorant stuff about Luke Cornett. That is the same,
okay, yes,
same vibe here.
That okay. Yeah, this game. I feel like if you're as bad as Phoenix, like knowingly bad, like it's not been a secret how terrible they are, you should not be allowed to play home games against Eastern Conference teams at like a normal time. Like they should have to start at 5:00 Pacific. Like I don't need to be up at 12:30 today to see you get trounced by 30. The fans in the arena all chant, "Let's go Celtics." Like in my opinion, biggest highlight of this game was, well, before the Scheierman Rondo play, was Eddie House talking about Joe Mazzulla and being like, he told me to watch this series on HBO. And then like there was just this brutal pause, dead air.
Well, they didn't tell us the series. They didn't, I think Drew was probably like, "Oh, he's going to tell us what the series is."
Yes,
and he just
exactly that. Like he was like waiting for him to say it, and then Eddie House in his head was probably like, "No free plugs." And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, "What series is Joe Mazzulla?
I want to know the series.
To watch. I hope I would do anything for it to be Sex Lives of College Girls. It won't be.
Almost definitely was not.
But can you imagine if it was? Like that? That's why I'm holding out hope. I put in the Celtics blog Slack, and I do have to credit Daniel Porach, who said he's actually just watched The Sopranos for the 30th time and is recommending to anyone who will say 3 words to him.
Yes. Sorry. Daniel who?
Porach. Porch. Sorry. I get like dyslexic sometimes, I think. I apologize. I apologize.
It took me I was just like, it took me a second to like put together what you were talking about. That was a wild moment. I was sitting here thinking like, what are you watching? what is Joe watching? I was like intrigued, and then it didn't come together. Anyways,
anything to know.
Let's start with Kristaps. Sick. Unbelievable Kristaps game. 30 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. 10 of 15 from the field, 4 or 5 from 3. Literally just like bullied the Suns, did whatever he wanted for the entire game. I mean, like, I say we should start with Kristaps. This just felt like every single player who touched the floor for the Celtics did cool shit because the Suns were. I'm sorry, we can't start with Kristaps. I'm like so baffled at how bad the Suns team is. I don't understand how you can see the team you're going up against as the Celtics, right? Obviously, the first thing you think of, this team likes to shoot a lot of threes. And it's almost like they forgot. Like every Bobby Manning had the perfect tweet. He said it looked like the Celtics were playing 5-on-4. It was like the Suns forgot there was an extra player on the floor every other possession. Like it was just Sam Hauser in the corner somehow got open and no one closed out. Peyton Pritchard, top of the key, somehow no one closed out. Derek White, somehow no one closed out. Like, I truly don't understand how that can happen. Like, on paper, this shouldn't be a bad defensive team, right? Like, you have fine defensive players. Devin Booker's maybe not great, but like Kevin Durant's a good defender, right? Nick Richards is a good post defender. Ryan Dunn was like Jesus Christ himself coming out of the draft as a defender. You look past that, who else you got? Royce O'Neal, good defender. right? Like you have fine defenders. Oso Ighodaro, good defender. Cody Martin, good defender. Like you have a few guys who maybe aren't best, like Colin Gillespie and Tyus Jones and maybe Grayson Allen, but like you have the personnel to be good enough on the defensive end. And it's almost like they just don't give a shit. Like or not even that. They just like they forgot. Like it truly just looked like they forgot that they had to close out to the guy behind the 3-point line. Like they forgot that there was a fifth person on the floor for the Celtics. Like they assumed that the Celtics were so much better than them that they got to play 5v4. And so like that guy didn't exist to them in their minds. They like subconsciously blocked out that there was an extra, like they were actually playing 5-on-5. And so the Celtics just got like free 3-pointers. Like from the like start to finish too, there was no adjustment. There was no, oh, this slowly deteriorated their mental like focus throughout the game. Like start to finish, just gave up a million open threes. And you know what? Now that as me saying that makes me realize this is just kind of what Mike Budenholzer does.
I'm so happy that you ended on Budenholzer. Budenholzer better show up to work every day and bring Kevin Durant like a coffee or like donuts, like whatever KD wants. Because the only reason why he's fucking employed is because Durant's big toe was on the line in 2021. Like otherwise, like I mean, you saw how bad he was against the Celtics in the Bucks series the year after, and like we were all like, I can't believe this guy's employed. Then they fire him after they lose to Miami in the first round in 2023, and I'm baffled. Like, yeah, defense not good. Like, I'm sure some of that has to do with they're checked out like below 500 in March, almost April. They've underachieved significantly
But
this
they shouldn't
season.
be, because they're
Yes.
in a fight to get to the play-in tournament.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like if you're Durant and Booker, how like up do you get yourself for that?
Bro,
Like,
they've won 5 in a row. Like you should see them
no,
after some of these
they're
games. They're
playing
like
better.
pumped up. Like they had that game winner where the Bucks missed a shot and they were on like, yes, like let's go, like we're here. Like, and then you do this. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really explain it to you. Like Eddie House and Drew were joking on the broadcast that this was over as soon as they showed up to the arena today. Maybe it was just like, damn, all right, like our luck's out. Like today we're overdue to lose. Like we just cannot beat the Celtics. I don't know what it was. They looked disconnected. They were playing kind of like they hate each other. It was really funny that Durant was like, what was he, 10 of 16? He was 10 of 14 at one point in this game, 11 of 16. He was 10 of 14 at one point in this game for like 28 points, and the rest of the Suns were just throwing rocks against the glass. Like that was it. Someone needs to rescue this guy, Durant, not the Lakers. Somebody else. Rescue him. He's too much of a hooper to be cursed with this team.
Yeah, man. And no, it was bad. It was really bad. I'm like baffled at how bad Kristaps back. Kristaps great, phenomenal game. Did a little bit of everything. Super fun to watch him just bully the Suns. More impressively to me, or maybe not impressive, but like important to me, Jaylen back. Great Jaylen game.
Yes.
24 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Didn't like do anything spectacular. 7-15 for the field, 4 of 9 from 3. Looked great as a playmaker. Looked great running the offense. Looked totally in control. Looked comfortable. Didn't have to play a ton of minutes. Like played great defense on KD. Was active on both ends. This was like, okay, we're good. It was just a slump. He's fine. Like this is the game that I think people should have been waiting for after JB's recent like downturn, slump, whatever you want to call it.
Jaylen made more threes today than he did in his previous 4 games combined. He made 3 against the Lakers. Otherwise, it would have been the last 5 combined. He has just not been very good lately. Still in the camp that I thought he was hurt. Hopefully, he's feeling a little better. He looked better today. He looked like he was playing very under control, got really good shots off, like started the game hot, made 2 threes right away. It was clear that he came and was ready to just bring the hammer to the Suns. He had that nasty dunk in the third quarter. I tweeted the Tyler, the Creator, Thought I Was Dead song. Jaylen is not dead. He's back. I'm so happy about it because when the playoffs roll around, they are going to desperately need Jaylen to be at least like 75% of what he was last year. Because you saw how teams guarded Jason Tatum and how they've tried to guard him this year. They throw the kitchen sink at that man. 3 guys all paying attention to them, blitzing them, whatever they're going to try and do in the playoffs this year. You have to be able to make teams pay when they overcommit. And I guess this was like a great practice game of just overcommitment because Tatum wasn't there. So you had to do everything and you had to be the guy. And it was a really good Jaylen day. Efficient. Can't complain much about it. Didn't turn the ball over much. Had 5 assists. Had some nice passes. Had some nice connections with Luke Cornett, who missed 2 dunks in this game, by the way. Interesting. No Tatum. All of a sudden, he's human.
KP missed one too. They missed all the dunks.
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually were being nice to the Suns. Like good
Yeah.
visitors. It's like you take your shoes off when you come in the house. They heard the arena didn't have a sponsorship there. So they were like, we're actually not going to be too mean to them. They're not making any money on this game being broadcast. There's no logo on the floor. We'll miss our
Being
dunks.
kind. Indeed. Excuse me. They were trying to be a little bit nice. Very, very kind of the Celtics. But no, great game for JB, great game for KP. Huge bounce backs for both of them.
Breaking
general,
news.
KP, yeah.
The Boston Celtics have now passed the Oklahoma City Thunder for the best road point differential this year.
Wow.
Per
That's pretty
Grandy.
good. They've been unbelievable on the road this year. Like really, 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 really good. And they've been a lot better at home too. They had a really rough start at home, but they've been fine, right? It hasn't been as bad as it looked like it was shaping up to be. They've been 24-12 at home. It's not like incredible, but it's still a pretty good home record.
Respectable for sure.
30-7 now on the road. it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, going down the line a little bit more. Al Horford, 16, 10 and 5, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 5 of 10, 2 of 7, only played 26 minutes. This is like this is what you want. This is what you need from Al Horford. This was beautiful. Got some post action in there, hit some threes, had a couple dunks, played great defense. Celtics defense, like I know the Suns team isn't very good, so you take it all with a grain of salt. This Celtics defense was active as fuck. Like they were sprinting around the floor. Like this was a very good defensive game after that first quarter. And even in the first quarter, I thought they were like sprinting and doing a pretty good job. They lost in transition a couple of times, and the Suns obviously had a pretty good first quarter. But outside of that, like I was very impressed. Al Horford was a part of that. A little tangent in the midst of praising Big Al.
He had a very well-rounded game today. Just all over the place, like double-double. All the starters hit double figures, which is fantastic, by the way. I think just as much as you needed to see a good Jaylen game, you needed to see a good Drew game. Like, got that too. But to go back to Al, he actually wasn't that great in who the fuck did they play on Monday? Sacramento. No, he didn't play. Portland, he wasn't that great. I apologize. Nice bounce back performance after some rest today. Pair of blocks. We had a block on the prize picks. We didn't win. We were close.
Indeed.
We needed one more 3 from Derek White and Devin Booker. Fuck Devin Booker. Like I'm the parlay guy now. That's like DMing guys being like, you ruined my parlay. 1 of 5, 1 of 6, whatever he was. Derek did his part. He made 4. If we get anything from Booker, CLNS can't tweet at us anymore and be like, here's the Jack picture.
Fuck you, Amit. That fucking guy. Yeah, no. Prize Picks was not fun for us, though, but you should still use Prize Picks because it is the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Sam and I do it on the pregame every single time. We are now 0-14-2. CLNS has caught on to the fact that we have not won. And now we're
on Pistons watch
for it. We're on Pistons. We are on Pistons watch.
We're on Pistons
We
watch.
might have pushed today. Low key, we were 2 for 3. Maybe we pushed, but I would have to check if that's a thing with that few selections. Regardless, check out Prize Picks. It is the best place to get real money sports action in more than 30 states, California, Texas, Georgia, and right here in Massachusetts, where I'm recording at least right now. It's easy to use. Just create a lineup. All you have to do is pick more or less at a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000x your money. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick, easy deposits into your account as well. It truly is the best place to get real money sports action. Download the app today and use code CLNS for $50 to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. But back to this game. Another guy who I was particularly, excuse me, sorry, I zoned out, impressed with, Derek White, has had a couple inefficient games here or there lately, but he's been like a playmaker, even when Tatum's healthy. Like he's been averaging like 7-8 assists for his last, I don't know how many games. They've mentioned on the broadcast he had 16, 4, and 7 in this game. 5-11, 4-10. I will say there have been a few moments over the last few games where I've noticed like that's not a very Derek play. Like he'll turn it over every once in a while. He'll like get caught in midair going for a block and they like caught on. Like he still played great. This is not what I'm saying. I've just been noticing a few like I don't know if defenses are catching on to some of the ways he blocks shots or some of his passes or stuff like that, but it has been a moment for me. Regardless, though, good efficient game. The playmaking has been very impressive.
We got to see a little extra dose of the playmaking too in the fourth quarter. A lot of pick and roll stuff from Derek. Finished a floater off one of them. Did a good job of finding the roll man on the others. He just looks pretty comfortable with the ball in his hand. I know you said there have been some moments where you can kind of feel some difference. I do wonder if it's like you said, it's not usual Derek White stuff. Like maybe they're trying to urge him out of his comfort zone just a little bit to try and get him ready for anything that may come at him in the playoffs that is unusual. We mentioned the Tatum blitzing that teams were doing last year. Derek's been such an important player for the Celtics since he's really been here. So if you're an opposing team, it would be quite smart to be like, hey, let's take this guy off his rhythm. That I mean, it's not really a conversation for
Yeah.
tonight, but like I do wonder if teams are going to be like, we're going to try and take Tatum away, or we're going to try and take the rest of the guys away from the Celtics. I'm curious to see how they do that, but Derek is one of the ones that if you're an opposing team, you need to try and take away, because when you can get 16 points like this from him today, and it was a game where Jack, you said it, like you didn't feel like he was incredible, at least like at his level. That's pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Shout out to Derek. Phenomenal work. The whole Celtics team played Drew played really well. 6 of 10, 2 of 5, 16 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. He's been doing a little bit of like everything on offense. I asked Joe about it after the Brooklyn game last week, and like Drew's been working on the dunker spot. He's acting a lot more as the ball handler. They threw a lineup out there that was, I wrote it down. It was a weird lineup that I was like, oh, what the hell are we gonna do here? And Drew didn't end up like being the lead ball handler in the capacity that I thought they were going to ask him to be. But it was like a no Jaylen, no KP, no Derek lineup. Let me see. I think I have it here. Yeah, Drew, Pritchard, Hauser, Scheierman, Horford. It was like, oh, let's see what happens here. And they ended up running stuff through Pritchard and Al a lot, and Drew was like off the ball, but he had the ball a few times. He had a couple like classic Drew, get inside, use your body buckets, hit a couple threes as well. I've been really impressed with the way the Celtics have been using Drew. Obviously, early in the season, they had that Grizzlies game where they had him shoot a bunch of threes. It feels like as the season has gone on, the Celtics have realized that they can use Drew in other ways as well. And so he's still going to like end up standing behind the line a lot and shooting a bunch of threes. But it does feel like they're allowing him and sort of like having him do more stuff on offense too, which is good. And obviously the defense is the defense. You know what the defense you get with Drew.
Yeah, using him in as many ways as possible is the best case. I mean, it's the end of March. We're going to keep talking about the playoffs. I'm going to keep talking about the playoffs. You need to utilize Drew Holiday in a way where he cannot be exploited. You mentioned the Memphis game. Like, that is bulletin board, film room, whatever you want to call it, like exhibit A of how he can be exploited if he's not shooting well. He's got the mallet finger. He's been fine. He hasn't really been as great as you would think he has been since he came back. You need him to be able to do other things for you. Because if he doesn't, then you might as well put Pritchard out there in some of these games. And they've done it. They've finished with Pritchard in games this season when Drew's been healthy. It's just been a question of whether he's got it or not. I agree with you, though. Like, Holiday is such a versatile player. He's been versatile since he came to the Celtics. Last year was in a different way. I think he was being asked to do so little and just defend, but he was shooting more efficiently, so you really, really felt him. This year, he's just doing like different role stuff. Like you mentioned, the dunker spot. That was a big thing in the playoffs last season where got a lot of his points just off of cutting and being in the right spot. if you have somebody that's brilliant and intelligent about doing that, it makes you 10 times harder to guard in a tense situation where you really can't afford to make mistakes like the playoffs. So keep your eyes on him if he's even going to play in a lot of these games down the stretch. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how much rest they give him. But moving on to the bench, another Sam Hauser game. Really good Sam Hauser game. I don't look at the box where he filled it up. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 4 or 5 from the field, 3 or 4 from deep. It's nice to see Sam finding a rhythm before the playoffs. I don't think it's fair to call him a streaky shooter. He shoots 40%, like he's not. But there will be stretches
Feels
of a
like
few
it though.
games. There will be stretches of a few games where he doesn't make them. But luckily, made him in this one. Feels like he's getting into a right space heading into the playoffs. So good for Hauser. Good to see him play well.
Those 11 points came in like super quick succession too. He was just coming
Yeah.
off screens, running around, catch and shoot threes. Also, we cannot ignore the Sam Hauser defense in this game. You kind of knew it was going to be a good Hauser defensive game when one of his first
Yes.
defensive possessions, he's guarding Durant, who was on a heater in the first quarter. He had 14 in the first. Guards Durant off the dribble pull up, contests the shot very well, doesn't foul, gets Durant to actually miss, which was not happening at that part of the game. Then he ends the night with 3 steals. This is an encouraging game in that sense because the major area where Sam Hauser has lacked this year has been defense. How many times have we come on here after a game, but man, just back must be bothering him. He's not really defending at the same level as he was last year. He got really hunted in the Cleveland game, the end of February. I mean, granted, Mitchell was on an unbelievable burner. Like, of course, it's difficult to guard him in that stretch that he was on. But nonetheless, like he was the guy that Cleveland decided to hunt and it worked. And you felt like it, and you were like, man, like, is he a little washed on that end of the ball? I hope he's not. I hope this is more of what's to come as the games become more important here because he's shooting the ball well again. Like it's almost like this Scheierman renaissance that we've had has like got him looking over his shoulder a little bit, but it's working instead of making him nervous. And he's like, oh man, gotta lock in, like make all my threes again. Because he has not been consistent this year. Now that Shireman's all of a sudden came in and started to ball out, Hauser's back from the dead. Like I proclaimed him dead, like 2 months ago, and it's been rough for me ever since, but we'll take it. Maybe I'll take credit.
No credit. Before we get to Shireman, Pritchard, 3 of 10, 1 of 8, but 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Fine. Just didn't have the shot. Played well outside of the shot. So it was an okay game. But Shireman, this dude, like he shot 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 3 from the field. Like he wasn't amazing shooting the ball. He had a nice sidestep 3 though, but 4 assists in 12 minutes, including it was like a rondo thing, but he didn't actually get anybody with the rondo. He just kind of fucking did it to do it. It was still
Did it really
sick.
fast.
Still very cool. Boom, 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 boom. Bench loved it. Threw an oop to Nemi too. This like he's fucking good, man. He's a hooper.
I mean, if I told you in December that we're gonna see a Shireman like fucking around mixtape garbage time type thing, you would not have believed me. He has just become a completely different player over the last 3 weeks. That game against, I think it was Philly, where he had the 15 points, changed everything for him. I'm sure the G League reps have really helped too, because I mean, just to pick out an example, that little pump fake, step to his side, step back 3 he does and is in rhythm, that's money. That's one of the most comfortable things. In the NBA runs he's getting, he's not going to have the opportunity to do that very often. That's something he had to really get up to speed, get fine-tuned in Maine. Not that I was up in Maine like you were. I'm not stolen valor on that. But I will say, like, he looks so comfortable just playing his game. He's an excellent passer. He's shown that. It's something we talked about when we were looking at the draft tape for him, and it was one of the reasons why we were like, that was the first draft video we did. We were looking at mock drafts, and it was the thing we kind of walked away from, being like, damn, like, this guy kind of does everything. Like, this could be a great pick if they hit on him, because they need somebody in the future that can shapeshift, and he might be the next shapeshifter guy.
We'll see. I'm very high on him, but before I continue, I do need to tell you about Game Time, the best place for all your ticketing needs. Baseball season's coming up. I keep pointing to it because obviously, like us personally, aren't gonna buy a bunch of basketball tickets, and that season's winding up. But baseball season is coming up, and I do plan on attending a bunch of Red Sox games this season at Fenway Park. Very fun. Love going to a game in person. Make sure to use Game Time for all your ticketing needs this season, and if you're looking to go to a basketball game, make sure to check it out for that as well. I'll pull up Game Time Manager here. We can take a look at all the fun, great features they have in store for you guys. Let's look at something different today. Let's check out what's going on. Look at the Tate McRae concert. Are you familiar with Tate McRae?
No.
That doesn't surprise me. But you can see all the great deals here. You can see great deal. You can see what is a super deal or amazing deal. And then right here, the star is the super deal. As you can see here, you can see the view from your seat right up here on Game Time. It's great. You get to see exactly what you're getting for the seat you're going with. You can also usually see the cheapest price in the venue, which is right here with a little fire emblem. You can turn on the toggle to make sure you're seeing the price with the fees included, so you're not surprised at checkout. You know exactly what you're paying when you're looking at the tickets. On top of that, you get the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will grant you 110% of the difference. Game Time ticket coverage as well. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Do you know the Kid Leroy, Sam? Are you familiar?
Who?
The Kid Leroy? No.
No.
He's a rapper. Maybe not. You'd probably know his music, but maybe you don't know him. Regardless, Scheierman rocks. Very fun game. Very fun assist game. Luke Cornett also rocks. Luke Cornett is getting ignorant with the celebrations. I'm going to keep throwing that word around.
Yeah, he did. He did the neck scratch like he was a dog.
Really buying into this dog thing. He has barked once. He's like averaging 2 barks a game for the past 3 games.
He's lying about not being online. Like
he's lying about what?
Not being online. Like he actually is probably always on Twitter, sees all the barking memes. He's all in.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I was told firmly that he does not have a burner. I was because I asked that question straight up when I did my story on Luke Cornett before the season. I said, "Do you know if he has a burner?" And he was like, "It sounds like a very Luke thing, but I just don't think he does." And I was also told the dad. So he hasn't been on social media since like 2016, is what I've heard. Which is the last time the dab was popular. So that is why the whole joke was like, that is literally like the most up-to-date dance that he thinks exists. Regardless, Luke is phenomenal, man. He's so good. The celebrations kill me every time. 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. Dude, Oso Iguodala was getting bullied in this game. They just blocked him a million times at the rim.
I wish there was actually a stat like next to the field goal attempts, field goals made, like just how many you had blocked. That would be a fun thing to like go to the end of the season and look at it and be like, who had their shots blocked the most times?
I feel like there might be a stat for that.
When I said it out loud, I feel like we've actually looked at this before, but I don't know how on earth you would ever find it.
Yeah, blocks against. Right?
Was that a real thing?
Yeah, miscellaneous. So there's blocks, which is Wemby, and then blocks against. So I assume that's just that.
Okay.
You want to guess who's been blocked the most this season? 2 players have been blocked 94 times.
94 times is crazy. It's got to be like
they were picked 1 and 2 in the draft.
1 and 2 in the draft. Same draft. Oh my goodness.
That was a pretty big clue.
Is it draft. Recent draft? Oh man.
Recent draft.
Is it Rishersay and Sar?
No, not that recent. One of these guys was an all-star this season.
And no, because in that draft it was
your team. Your favorite team.
The Pistons. Is it Cade?
Cade and Jalen Green. 94 times.
Wow.
Blocked most on the Celtics. Do you want to guess that? That's an easier one to guess. Or more defined, I suppose.
Is it Derek?
Mm-mm.
Is it just Tatum? feel like Tim
No.
didn't get blocked much, or Jaylen.
Jalen's gotten blocked 66 times in 58 games.
Really? That feels like a
Jason's
lot.
Jason's at 52. Pritchard's at 33. Anybody not get blocked at all? Only 3 Celtics have not got blocked at all this season.
Scheierman,
No, he's gotten blocked twice or once.
J.D. Davison,
Yep. Free.
Drew
Freely.
Peterson,
No, he's gotten blocked twice.
Xavier Tillman.
No,
Oh,
even more free. Even more free. Stop overthinking. Literally, these are the 2 most free answers because they have been with the team the least possible amount of time to have gotten blocked.
hold
It's
on.
Torrey Craig and Miles Norris. It is the
Torrey
2
Craig.
most recent.
Okay. They've been on the team actually for like so little time that it hasn't registered that they're on the team. Like Watson, but he's not on the team anymore.
No. Anton Watson has been playing for the Knicks, like actually getting in the games a little bit, which is funny
How's he
considering
been?
when I say playing for the Knicks, I mean he's playing like nothing. But he's like, my point is he was on the Celtics for all year, didn't play, and he's played in 6 games already since going to New York. I know this because
it's a real shame.
There was a clip where Rick Brunson went over to Tibbs and was like, "Hey, Tibbs, we're up by 25. Like they're waiting." And you just see all the bench guys standing over there behind him, like, "Is it our turn now? Or do we get to go in?" He's like, "Get the fucking starters out." And then he actually pulled the starters. But yeah. Is there anything else from this game you wanted to go over? I'm like looking through, trying to think.
No.
Ball, fun attraction, weird. Eddie House rocks. You're right.
Eddie House is the best. Like
he's very good.
Send Scout of the Moon. Give his salary to Eddie House. Get Eddie House to leave his living room more than 1 road trip a year, please. He's awesome.
Eddie House is really good.
He doesn't say a lot. When he does say something, it's funny 9 times out of 10, or it's like insightful. He has been like, for somebody who doesn't do this very often, unbelievable.
Yes, it was particularly funny because we were made fun of, or not made fun of, but we're laughing at how he was like talking about trying sushi for the first time, and then he comes on this broadcast and he's like, "The last fucking arena had sushi, had nigiri." He's using the word he learned.
Yeah,
he's like, "This fucking place couldn't even give me a good breaded chicken tender. What the fuck are we doing?" It was fucking phenomenal. Anyways, it is late. We're gonna get out of here. It's past 1 a.m. I have to edit and everything. I'm fucking exhausted. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all that same. Take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. We're here every single day with new content. Full pods typically drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. None this morning because we just had overlaps and shit we were doing on Wednesday, so we couldn't line it up with enough time. But this went 33 minutes, so it's not nothing. You can also find us doing game recaps like this one the morning after each game. Other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. And we're streaming pregame live, half hour before tip-off every single game. You can catch us chatting with the chat, losing at Prize Picks. We still have yet to win. And GeoGuessr is always like the highlight. I mean, it's unbelievable. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want those on the audio platforms, they're there. Give us a follow, leave a 5-star review. You can tell your friends too. We'd appreciate that very much. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single time we do a pod. So get them in, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them Cs for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at JacksMonNBA. His TikTok is at JacksMonNBA. He's doing all kinds of good work on there. Give him a follow. You can find me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.